Oh, God.
Good morning. Welcome to the MediaSpeaks.com live Saturday show, 420 special. That's right, it's 420, and it's also 9:30 a.m. Pacific. All right, we were up early for a special guest today. Sam looks tired. Look at him. Oh, Sam, there you are. Hey, Sam, are you all right?
Sam, or are you tired, Sam, or is it just a holiday over there?
Both. Both.
All right, great. Yeah, it's a 420 holiday. Anyways, I'm D-Lake for Prez, David Lake. That's Sam DeGangi right there of The Correct View. Sam!
Greetings, unsettled souls, and welcome aboard.
All right, and we're also joined by the technician on a mission, KP, Kyle Phillips.
I did it to myself, in all fairness.
There he is. Here, I'm going to do a doorbell, Kyle. Here we go.
Oh.
Ghost doorbell. Okay, yeah, we're just loosening up. We're having fun. We're waiting to see if Anthony Court's going to make it in here. It looked like he was trying to jump in a minute ago. Anthony Court of the Media Speaks and the Court Report, and he has been on fire, gentlemen.
RoboCourt.
Am I right or wrong? RoboCourt.
RoboCourt has been the pride of the channel, from what I hear.
He's been RoboCourting out.
He's been PJ dubbing all over our
2,400 hits in a day.
website. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, here he comes. I would like to introduce to you Anthony Court of the Court Report. Anthony, are you there? Anthony, is that you? Anthony Court has a weird silhouette icon that's not showing his.
We talked about his 2,400 hits in a day. We gave him a drum roll.
Yeah,
and
he's totally boosting and bumping up the numbers on the page. We're all part of a team, so you know. It's like when Kobe's doing all the scoring, you know, the rest of us are still running drills and passing the ball to him so he gets the shot, right, guys?
Oh, man.
I don't know who Kobe is.
Kobe Bryant, LA Lakers, right? Basketball, guys? Dr. J, Michael Jordan.
I know Michael Jordan.
Okay, Michael Jordan, right? There was other guys on that team.
Yeah, there's Scottie Pippen, there's Dennis Rodman, all those guys.
Rodman. And, yeah.
Would I be the Dennis Rodman of the Media Speaks? I hope not.
Have you been to North Korea? If you have, then you definitely would be the Dennis Rodman of the Media
Speaks. Would I be welcome?
Why doesn't he just sing Heil now and get it over with? Rodman, oh my God, Rodman.
Well, he likes going to communist countries. It makes him feel comfortable.
Do you remember when he did that stunt where he like drove off a cliff in a car and jumped out the sunroof? Do you remember that? It was on TV. It was like a stunt that he did for some reason, for like some TV show, and he broke his nose going out of the sunroof.
Ow.
I don't know.
I met John Sally, another player there, in a hotel room. He was trying to convince the company I worked for to invest a bunch of money in one of his harebrained ideas. Yeah, and now he's all over. He's all over the ESPN doing the commentaries. It's pretty big. Sally, John Sally.
I'm totally faking it right now. My girlfriend likes basketball. I know nothing about it. I do know that they went to see the Cavs and they did terrible, which is usually what Cleveland does. Anytime you go to see them do anything, and I'm an Indians fan.
The calves? Is that like baby cows or like the back of your leg?
No, not Cavaliers, but it could be like baby cows. I mean, they were really bad.
The baby cows.
All right.
Root for them.
Hey, Sam, you've been getting into some news coverage this week. What are the topics that you've been touching on the most here this past week?
The one thing I've noticed a lot of is every year there's like comical articles on 420, which has nothing to do with Hitler's birthday and everything to do with marijuana laws. And I recently covered a lot of information regarding how different, like Illinois, I believe it is thinking about expunging past marijuana offenses. You've got Vermont doing interesting things now in terms of trying to harness ways to bring in money that do not involve criminalizing people who aren't bothering anybody. A lot of states are wanting to turn laws into offenses, I should say, into misdemeanors at the worst. And there's even, if you go to my last show, some talk about how they want to harness penicillin for anxiety and depression issues. So, I mean, I've been doing a lot of that just because of the week that it has fallen on.
Wait, did you say harness psilocybin?
Yeah, they want to they actually wish. I gotta find the exact link. It's on my last posting.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know about that one.
Well, I mentioned as somebody who can be somewhat naturally high strung myself.
What are your concerns about that, Kyle?
Like, I'm sure you've met some people who shouldn't have any psilocybin. There are certain people that, like...
I'm not sure I'm following. Is that like mushrooms?
Yeah, that's like magic mushrooms. Like, there's certain people, D-Like, that if they came up to you and they were like, D-Like, I'm going to try shrooms, you might be like, you better not. You're not the person to be doing that. You know what I mean? Like...
Well, they want to change that. Here, I got the link here. I'll read a piece of it. I also mentioned it on my last posting. It's on Natural News, Jonathan Benson, actually. Researchers, it says, from the Imperial College of London, UK, have made some fascinating discoveries about the so-called magic mushrooms.
Well, don't they harvest psilocybin when they grow mushrooms?
They want to go ahead and make it so that it's not hallucinogenic, but basically...
A synthetic drug for what?
No.
Healing quality?
And not synthetic. They want to take the psilocybin, and it's not going to make you trip, D-Like, or any of us when we take it. What they want to do, they want to use it to. There are certain parts of the brain that are overactive in people who suffer anxiety and depression disorders. This shuts those regions of the brain off. So they want to find a way that they can give it to somebody without them hallucinating, but maybe use the part of the drug that is causing the anxiety levels in the brain to decrease. And that's the direction they're aiming for with that.
Whenever they try and do that, like, they've tried to separate, like, THC and the narcotic element of marijuana.
Yeah, they can't do it, right?
Yeah, you can't do it successfully and still have a good medicine, because it's like every single time it seems that the part they want to take out is the part doing the good. Hallucinating is probably what calms your brain down. Think about it.
If that's the case, there'll be trouble. But I am interested to see where that goes. I am interested to see where that goes, because a lot of other cultures in that have been like mushroom tea and all that. Mm-hmm. And I almost wonder if maybe it's not the psilocybin alone, but maybe the entire components of the mushroom. But I think it's an interesting idea.
And you like following interesting science and science articles and natural news type articles and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, Sam? Any of those kinds of things. And I mentioned it on my show. I'm not encouraging, and this could be broadcast anywhere. I'm not saying go out and do mushrooms. I'm not even saying go out and smoke marijuana. If you're watching the show and you don't,
I'm saying it. Go do it.
But I am saying
light it up, spark it up, guys.
I am saying
don't do
this,
any research.
and I mentioned this, and I think I've told you before, D. Like, in all the times I've been to clubs, I've DJ'd raves, I work in an adult club. Never, under any circumstances, have I ever seen marijuana cause a fight or a problem. So I guess if I was going to say something, is look into anything before you want to try it. But I am hoping that maybe there is some hope in terms of these drugs being used for more than recreation, regardless of what someone's theory on that is. And I think that's the most exciting news I've come across this week.
Does the marijuana violence only happen at the Mexican border when they're trying to bring that marijuana over here?
Yeah, the only violence associated with marijuana is from the government trying to control it.
Trying to crack down. All right, well, speaking of violence, or if you want to call it that, or speaking of displays of force, did you gentlemen see all the pictures yesterday of the Boston State Police in full black stormtrooper riot gear with armored truck vehicles and guys with automatic weapons poking out the turrets and posted up on people's sheds in their backyard and going into their homes? 9,000 officers storming the streets of Boston looking for one 19-year-old weed-smoking suspect on 4/20, Hitler's birthday, and, the infamous weed holiday of the year. I mean, let's be honest about it, ladies and gentlemen, it's 4/20, right?
And I really do believe, D-Lake, in light of what you just said, sometimes I really do believe that the quote-unquote terrorists, be they real or imaginary, or somewhere in between, they already won. In order for you, D-Lake, to come on and talk about what you just did, it makes you wonder, you know what? We've already lost. They already won. They got what
No,
they
you're
wanted.
wrong, pal. I have my freedom of speech, and I'm going to say it. I think that this whole bombing that happened on Monday was orchestrated. Okay, look, those troops and that display of force marching yesterday through Boston and apprehending this suspect and killing his older brother and his parents going nuts, and like, these guys aren't the guys that were the original suspects earlier in the week in the photography that we saw from the event. Well, I'll tell you what. It started on Monday. We just saw problem, reaction, solution in 1 week. And Court's done a great job covering it. Now I encourage Court to get on the damn show right now and trace back all his record keeping over the past week to realize that the display of force, the cops wearing all black, marching down the streets, invading people's homes, telling them to stay inside, arresting people that came outside, storming around like stormtroopers, and Darth Vader and the guy with the mega machine gun.
It's ridiculous.
And Obama says, you know, only soldiers should have these weapons, or we need to keep war off the streets. Well, there it is, right there. And I'll tell you what, Anthony Court needs to go back and realize that that was the end goal and reverse engineer this back before Monday, before Family Guy, and realize that this was the FBI and some other individual groups totally sponsored the whole thing. They knew that they were going to be the ones investigating it. They've even been pumping out fake news to some of our favorite media outlets just to get them wrapped up in little baby talk. Well, they orchestrate the whole grand scheme, and that's just my opinion. I'm D-Lake for Prez, MediaSpeaks.com.
It looks completely correct there, my friend. Every word.
I think that whatever this was, I don't think that kid had anything to do with it, at least knowingly. And I do think that I do not think that this was a false flag, but I think that it's being used to the best of their ability. Because if it was a false flag, it would have been guns.
What about a false flag to increase the Viper teams or to increase the overall reach of Big Brother?
I think that's how it's going to be used, but I see this. I just feel like if it was a false flag, it would have been much more gun oriented because that's what they're going for. Right?
It was a sneaky Second Amendment gun oriented plan because supposedly those pressure cooker bombs were homemade with an abundance of like gunpowder, so they're going to use that factoid to create legislation that controls the amount of ammunition that any one person can purchase or own at one single time, for fear that they would have enough powder to create one of these like backpack bombs. And these guys should be called the backpack bombers. Surprised that hasn't taken off in the media. Backpack bombers.
I'm surprised Patriot
ban the
Day
pressure
hasn't.
cooker.
No, they're the Patriot Day bombers, or the Tax Day bombers, not the backpack bombers, not the douchebag bombers, not the Bomber Brothers, nothing like that.
The Bomber Brothers, that's actually got a ring to it. But Adam Kokesh was talking about on the Keith Olbermann fan page on Facebook, they did a poll. And it was, who do you think, it was the first day of the bombing, they said, who do you think will be found responsible for the marathon bombings? And you had three options: Al-Qaeda, Tea Party activists, or pro-Second Amendment extremists. Those were your three options given.
What about Chechnyan Islamic brothers? That wasn't on the list?
No. And they said that they did a poll before that, but they had to redo it because the first poll left it open to add your own answers, and trolls were adding in ridiculous things. I want to see what those things that were added in.
Probably anything
Keith
that resembled
Olbermann, I
common
don't know.
sense.
Keith Olbermann. Bill O'Reilly. No. But
Can you imagine if those guys had a show together?
Bill O'Reilly wants to call Alex Jones a pinhead for looking into this sort of stuff. So I guess Anthony Court would be a pinhead too.
Yeah.
Where is that guy? Does he know that Bill O'Reilly would call him a pinhead, and does he have any response?
Bill O'Reilly can only do what Sean Hannity does, and that is talk over the guests when they have a point.
No, Sam. No, Sam. Hold it right there, Sam.
Sean Hannity does that. They just talk right over the guests.
That was what got me to, like, I used to actually really enjoy Sean Hannity's show, and still I started realizing that every time a guest disagreed with him, and it would happen a few times where I would agree with the guest, and, like, he just cut him off so fast. It's like, you didn't give him 1 second, you know? You just like got rid of that person quick.
I mean, I was a big, super big Ron Paul supporter last year, and seeing him dealing with Sean Hannity, and then Sean Hannity and Ron Paul had beef, but then Rand Paul goes on to Sean Hannity's show to announce that his father concedes the race, and that he's going to put all his love behind Mitt Romney. But, we've been talking about Rand Paul making a sort of comeback from that last year. I'd like to just point out the fact that, guys, this is all sort of an anniversary time for us, because it was this time last year that we were all putting out our InfoWars Reporter Contest stuff. And, I was just posting my 420 special from last year on my page. It was just making me think, wow, man, this was me a year ago. Like, look how far we've come. Look how far the Media Speaks has come. Even this Saturday Hangout is like, we've been doing the Saturday Hangout now for like, hey, I'm going to toot my own horn here. We've been doing this crap for like 6 months plus, right? Yeah. Right, Kyle?
Quite a while.
I haven't missed a Saturday show, and now we got Sam DeGangi joining us, which is great.
I started about a year and a half ago, 2 years in August, yep. And it's nonstop, ever forward. I was following, again, because of my hours for new listeners, I'm not always available to get things, and I was catching up on what was going on with the bombing from day one with our channel, and that's the second time a big news story is broke that I've done that.
Yeah, the Dorner case, Court was on that too. We were all on that. I thought we did a really good job. My open letter to Christopher Dorner had a ton of hits. But I mean, we're not just bragging. Yeah, I said I'm tooting my own horn and all, but really what we're doing is we're trying to spread the information. We're spreading the knowledge. We're spreading the know. We're getting out our thoughts and opinions, in addition to facts and different ways of looking at things that we come across. And Kyle, you've been putting out all kinds of great reports too. I really liked your Captain Kirk talks to Obama special report. Really good special effects on that, man. I was hoping that maybe I could get an interview with Captain Kirk.
Yeah, you can definitely.
I want to be on the Star Trek screen like Obama was there.
We can make that happen. Did you like the Skype?
Yeah, I have Skype. I'd like to communicate with the Starship Enterprise. Sam, would you ever be willing to have a sit down with Captain Kirk from broadcasting from the Starship Enterprise?
It would be having a sit down with a Romulan.
Yeah.
I actually had the idea the other day to start making Andorian ale. Like, if you went into the liquor store and you could buy a bottle of Andorian ale, like, I would totally buy that.
Do they actually have that in Star Trek?
Yeah. Like, there's a bottle and everything.
Wasn't Whoopi Goldberg like a bartender or something?
Yeah, she was on Next Generation.
She was a bartender, though, right? Wasn't there like a little?
She was like a bartender who was really, really, really old. She was, what's her name, Gaiden?
She was like old, like Yoda, like 6 years old or something.
And it's like really confusing because she's like the oldest, smartest person on the entire ship, but she's just like the bartender making Will Wheaton ice cream sundaes and shit.
Well, did she ever serve anything alcoholic on there? I mean,
no, they only serve synthahol on Next Generation.
Synthahol? What's that?
It's like it gets you drunk. Yeah, it like gets you drunk, but then if there's like a red alert, like you're not drunk anymore, you can like snap out of it.
Yeah, but you know, Kyle, you're not supposed to drink that though because it leads to space warming.
Oh, is that true? Yeah. Man.
It has been proved. It is warming.
No one wants space warming.
No.
So we're worried. No. None of us are big fans of GMO foods. When they have
that causes space warming, doesn't it?
When they have
snap out of my GMO coma and red alert.
When they have like the Star Trek food maker where you can just be like nachos and it'll make you nachos, like will you be down with that, or will you look at that like GMO food?
I mean, where does it come from?
I don't know.
The cube drink in the Alien Resurrection, it's a cube, and the guy pushes the water, and it goes. It turns into like a rum and coke or something.
Yeah. I encourage people to eat their food right after they dig it up out of the ground.
What?
I encourage people to eat like raw food. Like they go up and they dig it out of their backyard and just start.
Like you can rinse it though, right? You can like
you clean it. Water. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we used to garden when I was younger. It's so much better
people
for
have been
you.
doing that for as long as I know that I've been alive.
I really want to start a garden, but my place is too small to do it. Once we move, I'd like to start a garden. I'd like to grow. I'd like to never have to buy vegetables. Just be able to, like, pick them off my windowsill. Like a hippie.
Well, you've heard cases, and I think Sam's even covered it, like the lady who drank like 2 or 3 2 liters, like 6 liters of Coca-Cola a day, and like if she went even a little while without the Coca-Cola, you know, she'd start turning into a nut maniac. And then you know, when she died, the autopsy guy's like, yeah, it's pretty much due to fucking 5 to 6 liters of Coca-Cola a day, right, Sam?
D-Lake, actually, I'm about to be getting to this on a later views, but you brought it up, so I have to find it real quick. I got it.
Did you see the guy who went to Burger King every single day, and then his funeral procession went through the Burger King drive-thru to get his favorite order?
Really?
No.
All right, yeah, no, Sam, get to what you were going to say. Sorry.
This is from Michael Barrett at Prison Planet. Daily serving of soda increases aggressive prostate cancer by 40%. And it says that it could be as little as a can a day.
Yeah, but I know a way to extremely lower your risk of prostate cancer. So as long as you do both of them at the same time.
Marijuana?
No,
hemp oil?
Self-inflicted mastication.
Masturbation?
Masturbation, sir. Lowers your risk of prostate cancer, like, by extreme amounts. 3 times a week, they say. Yeah, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but...
Then I will ever be
masturbation.
sick.
Masturbation 3 times a week is recommended? For your prostate health?
It severely lowers, like, your risk of prostate. I believe it's 3. Don't quote me on it. I'm not a doctor. But, yeah, like... Masturbation lowers the risk. It's literally use it or lose it. That's like the rule when it comes to penises.
Sweet. I'll be right back.
Well, I guess D-Like has to go take care of some things.
It's for his health. It's for
his health. Yeah, so that he can drink that pop, you know? Just makes sense.
Oh, my. You know what? I think I do notice, as much as we joke about it, when you really point these things out to people, like, they really don't want to hear it. But for people that are like actually follow this and do know what's going on, I was in the bar last night drinking a rum and coke, trying to think about what I might want to put in rum that isn't coke, because it's good, it tastes great. I'll be the first to say that it tastes great. It is literally toxic, and everything. I mean, they just need to go back to, what was it, in the 70s, the way they made pop.
Do you know what the main ingredient in colas is? Like, what makes it cola?
What, the fizzy? No.
It's phosphoric acid, which is also, like, the main ingredient in laundry detergent.
Oh, no, okay, yeah, I have. I've heard that you can use Dr. Pepper to take a rusty bolt off of, like, if it's stripped or whatever, you can de-corrode it that way.
Yeah, but you can still get, I mean, there's better pop for you. If you get pop from Mexico, I mean, it's not, like, perfect, but it's made with real cane sugar, and that's better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of it, I think, is the aspartame that is in even some non-diets now. And,
yeah, well, it's in everything. You can't buy chewing gum in a store that doesn't have aspartame. Like, you'd have to go online.
Alex Jones mentioned that he bought his kids candy cigarettes because they were one of the only candies he could find that didn't have aspartame in it, which I thought was hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
the healthiest candy is candy cigarettes.
I wonder if there's aspartame in this thing that I'm drinking here. Would it tell me?
I don't know, but you're making me thirsty because I'm dying of thirst before I got on the air, and I didn't think to grab anything, and I have nothing around me at all.
Wait, where's my sound effect?
But, I mean, you know, I wonder, too, when this will be played back and people will be like, oh, you know, those guys are in favor of doing mushrooms or they think pop is bad, and completely miss the whole point of everything. I even worry about that. Like, you want to get facts out to people, and that people will take the facts you give and to go take them in a completely opposite direction. And I wonder if they also do that because they really don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that pop is dreadful for them. So it's better to make you sound like a pothead.
Well, yeah, and I'll say when we were talking about psilocybin mushrooms, like, I'm all in favor of legalization of psilocybin mushrooms, but I ain't doing them. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm not the type of person for it, so... But that doesn't mean I think somebody else shouldn't be able to do it. Like, that's their business. Do whatever you want. See some DMT trolls, as, what's his name calls them. Why can't I think of his name?
D-Lake is back
McKenna.
from his... Yes, McKenna.
Yeah.
D-Lake is back from his prostate workout.
How's the prostate, D-Lake? You work it out?
Oh, yeah. Prostate's feeling better already.
That was quick.
Kept the gloves on. Yeah, it didn't take that long.
Makes sense. Leather.
Yeah.
Where's Court at today?
I wish I knew. I was actually, I was trying not to think about Court a few minutes ago, but I was wondering where that guy is. What's going on with him? Did the police roll up on him? Is he under arrest? Is this his last show, or are we never going to hear from him again?
He might be thoroughly exhausted because he has been on this bombing.
He has been, Sam, but isn't thoroughly exhausted baby talk? Like, are we going to put up with thoroughly exhausted? Sam, you're pretty tired. You're on the show.
That's right. We should all call him at the same time.
We should call him at the same time and start yelling at him. Just all from separate phones so he can't even answer.
Hey, Kyle, can you call him right now while Sam and I talk about things, and maybe we could crank call him and get that on the show.
Okay, here, I'll call him.
Oh, I got you.
Sam, how do you feel about us crank calling Anthony Court of the Court Report right now?
I was doing it. You know what? We have to we have to do something like.
My phone is powering up, guys, or I would too. Or he's gonna get.
I could call him too, but we need to we need to come up with like totally false facts about the story and start asking questions about them. Not really. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We're gonna go speakerphone.
Please leave your message for 65.
Yeah, don't broadcast that.
Oh, that's great.
Wait, Kyle, do you have him on the line? What's going on with him? Oh, we can't hear the broadcast. Put it on speakerphone.
Now we've lost. He's been robo-corded.
He's robocording on the phone. Sam, why don't you fill in a little bit here? Give us some talk. What do you want to hear from Court if we can get him on the show?
I'd like to know what his thoughts are on the false flag thing, because I'm actually leaning towards strongly believing it was. And I know that Kyle had mentioned perhaps not. I would love to know what Court thinks about it.
Well, I do believe your New Year's resolution, Sam, was to fully explain yourself. Would you mind telling our guests your definition of a false flag when you say that this could be a false flag? Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that. Mm-hmm. A false flag is anything that is known about in advance that is used to further an already existing agenda. Or it's at the very least what Rahm Emanuel said, which was never letting a good catastrophe, I think he said disaster, go to waste.
Good crisis go to waste.
Crisis. So if something does happen, it's manipulating it in such a way
Actually, he said serious crisis, I believe.
What's it?
I believe it was never let a serious crisis go to waste.
It's a way to manipulate, at the very least, current events in a way to fit an already existing motive or agenda, to move people like a herd in one direction by using, you could use that we should ban guns because they've been used to kill Martin Luther King, and if you don't like guns, then, if you don't want to do that, then you don't like black people.
Hold it right there, Sam. Wasn't there actually a court case that determined that the government was behind the assassination of Martin Luther King? And Obama likes to say he's so much like Martin Luther King, except for one simple fact that he works for the killers.
Yeah, and would gladly cover for them. He has done more to harm African Americans in places like Libya than George Bush ever did.
Well, then they're not African Americans if they're in Libya.
Well, I mean, the African nation in general, a lot of them do have
African Libyans.
Yeah, well, I mean, they really are, and I mean,
Libya is in North Africa.
No, I'm well aware of that, but there are. I mean, you look at the amount of African Americans that were killed in Libya by Obama. I mean, I actually
blacks.
You mean Africans?
African,
yes, black people.
That was my boom boom. Africans, black people. He has done more to harm. I now count what you meant. He is.
Sam, I'm sorry. Sam, I'm sorry. I'm a white person, but I don't like that African. I don't like anything hyphenated, or else I'm some sort of mixture hyphen American, like some kind of weird.
D, like you're a patriot, you can't be an American. We can only be traitors. Patriots are traitors. Don't you know that?
What about South Americans?
I've been hearing that on the news all week. I'm sorry, Kyle. Go ahead. What
about South Americans who are white and like live here? They're African Americans,
or Latin Americans, or
you know what though? That is funny that I misspoke like that because you get so used to you don't want to say black because that might offend someone.
I say black all the time.
You get used to saying African Americans, and here I am talking about Africans in Libya saying African Americans. It's funny because you know what? Right there is the political correctness glowing through in all of it.
Well, what would you say Kyle is? What would you call Kyle?
He's a patriot. He can't be a human being.
I call him white.
I'm an Anunnaki. Look at me. I'm so pale.
Yeah, and you're really tall like the Anunnaki too.
I'm a Cullen. I am. Some kid actually.
You're kind of sparkling.
Yeah. I had a kid come into my work one night who was really drunk, and he looked at me because I'm so tall and stuff, and he's like, "Whoa!" And he was wasted drunk. He's like, "Are you an Anunnaki?" And he's like laughing, thinking like I don't know what he's talking about. And I was just like, "If by that you mean did I come here to steal all of the gold from your planet to support my atmosphere?" Yes. And the kid just like lost his mind. I like scared him.
Oh man,
he won't be coming back.
He was all hanging out with his buddies on 420, smoking a bunch of marijuana, and he was all retelling the story about the Anunnaki guy that works at the gas station.
There he is.
And let's try it again. Welcome, Anthony Court of the Court Report. Anthony, are you there?
Somewhat, I think.
Yeah, well, we've already tried introducing you like 3 times, so good to see you on. Court let his hair down.
Court has been kicking ass this week.
Is that Dave Mustaine from Megadeth?
No, not exactly. I got a bigger head than he does. Just kidding.
Wah, wah, wah. Hey, Court. we've been discussing your mega clicks to the website. This week, the past couple days, your updated reports and your super coverage has just been igniting. You're on fire. The internet is gravitating towards your reports, sir. You've been making the rest of the team look good. You're the Michael Jordan, but, I'm kind of like Scottie Pippen. These other guys are other members of the team. Rodman. Yeah, Sam's Dennis Rodman.
Right.
Court, go ahead. Welcome to the show. Fill us in on your update coverage. Where are you at now, sir? What is the most recent news on the marathon bombings that happened on Monday?
Well, as far as we know, they're saying that he's part of that extremist Muslim sect out of Chechnya, but
Chechnya and Islam.
It was proven.
That was my first
the
guess.
biggest thing I've been asking is why didn't the FBI pursue this individual? They basically lied and initially lied about contacting the mother, and the mother said that he said that they knew about all the things that he was on, and they were onto him, but then they claimed that they didn't know that much. So they're lying. I believe that they were onto this individual. So but if anything, the blood is on the FBI's hands for letting this individual go. If they were in fact involved with the bombing.
Anthony, do you think
I
those
have
gentlemen...
more questions than solutions?
Anthony, do you think that the gentlemen with the tan pants and tan boots and contractor type looking outfits had any type of foreknowledge about something going to happen? Is that why they were there, or were they there for more sinister reasons, sir? Your opinion?
You're talking about the guys at the initial bombing at the finish line?
Yeah, tan pants, Punisher, military
craft
insignia,
employees.
skulls, hats, matching outfits. Obviously, contractors. Obviously, working with the FBI.
It looked
Who are all
like they
these
were
other
part of
guys
craft.
kneeling?
They were
Yeah.
definitely. If you look up pictures right now, anybody watching this right now could look up these pictures. I'm going to post an article about this, and I could thank Minority of One off Facebook, formerly of the reporter contest, how we all met, kind of giving me this lead. But he shows.
Yeah, can you
these guys.
give him more of a shout out? I've seen some of your correspondence. I've seen some of what he's been posting.
Yeah, and tell us
I
your
wanna give a
name.
shout
dude.
out.
I didn't want to be rude, but I don't remember your damn name. Tell us your name, and so we can give you
Yeah, I
a
can't
real
remember.
shout out.
Hey, it's minority of one. It's minority of one for now, Court. That's how we can find him. He's really participating a lot. I know Ryan D. Hall has been posting a lot of stuff. That's my shout out to Ryan D. Hall, who's been posting a lot of aggressive. Oh, wait, we have someone joining us.
Oh,
We were going to get to that point, but yeah, that's good timing, I guess.
She's coming in.
Oh, we
Is this
have-
our friend, Kyle? Go ahead.
yeah, Kristina Marie is with us, who was our initial guest that we were talking about. Hi, can you hear us? Oh, needs a microphone.
Headphones, perhaps.
Go ahead, guys. I'm
If you
lining
can hear
up
us,
some screenshot.
if you have a pair of headphones or your microphone.
Yeah, headphones are always really good. We can't hear you still.
Oh no.
You'll probably have to go into settings and change your microphone.
This is the beauty of the live independent media right here. I mean, it's just
Fear
technical
not, my dear,
difficulties
he's the
are part of
technician
the game.
automation.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sorry.
So-
Okay. Here.
So this is our guest, Kristina Marie, who could you maybe just tell the people who you are and your experience? We found you actually because there was a meme going around of you, and I found some YouTube videos of yours talking about how you have an inoperable brain tumor and you've been using hemp oil.
Yeah, I actually have an astrocytoma grade 2 or a glioblastoma. So basically, it's
A
attacking.
freaking brain tumor.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awful.
I know. I was as floored as you were. I like blacked out getting a pedicure, and then I went in, and they were like, "Oh, you have a brain tumor. It's like this big," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
And
So
look at
did
how,
they-
like,
did they really
happy
say
and
it-
smiley you are? What is
Did
your
they-
secret?
Did they say it that
Well-
nonchalant? Or were they just like, "Oh, it's a tumor"? I mean that's pretty serious news. I mean,
Well, at first I thought it was a joke because my doctor looked just like Mr. Bean. So like, when he came in and he was like, "Oh, you have a brain tumor," and I was like, "Wait, he's kidding, right?" And I like looked at the nurses and they're like, "No, you have a brain tumor," and I was like, "Oh man."
Oh, so you weren't on candid camera there. You actually had a brain tumor, and then you started. Well, what happened right after you found that out? You actually had brain surgery, didn't you?
I did. 5 days later, I had brain surgery, which they kind of pressured me into it. They didn't really give me an option as to, other like holistic paths or anything like that. They were just like, "We have to operate now. We have to get this out of you. We're going to put this test drug on you." And I was just like, I don't know if I want to take a test drug. And they like went over everything with me. But they left off the fact that if I get pregnant within 2 years, my child will have Down syndrome, which I wouldn't have done it if I would have known that.
Oh wow.
And on top of that...
Wait. What was that, though? Just some kind of scary threat like, oh, you're going to have a Down syndrome baby if you even have a baby in the next couple years?
Yeah, they said because, like, the chemicals in the test drug. So the test drug was supposed to illuminate the tumor more so they could remove it better, but they should have known just from looking at it that astrocytomas and glioblastomas are mostly inoperable because they'd take, like, half your brain out if they had to operate because it's actually changing the matter in your brain, not just a tumor growing on the outside. So,
What did they do when they did the surgery then?
well, they were like, "Well, we're going to try and take it out with this drug, and we're really optimistic that this is going to come off." And then they were like, "Oh, it's inoperable, and we kind of knew that, and we just want to see if this test drug works." So they basically used me to.
So they're like, sorry, honey, you're dead. But
so they use you as a guinea pig.
We're gonna run this test anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. So they gave me 5 years after that. They're like, there's nothing we could do for you. Chemo or radiation might buy you more time, but in most cases it comes back more aggressive and they die within 2 years.
Do they ask you how much? Do they ask you how much money you make at the job you're not going to have much longer, so that you can spend the rest of your life fortune on radiation?
No, yeah, they didn't even. Well, like I was eligible for Medicaid and all of that, which was funny. But then they took that away from me. So
do you think that?
How long ago was this?
May 2012. So almost
a year ago. Almost.
So what have you been doing to try and fight this? The hemp oil we know. Is there anything else that you've been trying? Or?
Well, how did you get to the hemp oil? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a weird story. So I used to be a barista, and a customer of mine came through actually right after I had blacked out and was like, you need to go to the hospital. And he took me to the hospital, and his friend had called him while we were there and was like, dude, I found the cure for cancer. And it was the hemp oil that he was telling him about. And he's like, well, I got a girl here who just got diagnosed with a brain tumor, so let's try this. So,
wait, that's great. And was this something you may have considered before? I mean, did you ever try bringing this up to like one of the doctors that were dealing with the brain tumor? Or
well, it was like a whirlwind of like I had 5 days between when I was diagnosed and my brain surgery, and then maybe a week between when they said I was going to die and when he called me about the hemp oil. And so I was like, that sounds better than a death sentence, so let's try that.
So you've said that that's actually that when you've gotten your x-rays that it looks like it's shrinking?
The MRIs, yeah, those MRIs are actually in my 4th video. You can check that out. They're on there. It's the one that's like astrocytoma or whatever. And then I have actual side-by-side images that they showed me in my actual appointment and stuff too. So I just kind of broke them apart so people could see better in the videos, but I could post those ones as well.
Well, that's just amazing. I mean, it's so great that it's working. I mean, how soon did you realize that it was helping shrink the tumor or helping your situation?
Well, instantly, like a week after I started taking it, the seizures stopped. I was having about 20 seizures a day, and they were petite mal seizures. So I get like absent stares, stumble, can't talk, that kind of stuff. Not actual like shaking or convulsing or anything like that.
Whoa, wait a second. Christina Marie, did you shave your head at one point?
By the way, I don't know if
like every problem we have just completely has gone out the window by how, in my opinion, the attitude you have to, like, you're talking about this like, you know, we were talking about doing a report. It's amazing. I'm just floored by you as a guest.
Well, the way that I look at it is you have to be positive or you're going to die. If you're like, I'm going to die, then you're going to die. That's the way I look at it because...
Well... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say our words are very powerful, and I've definitely taken that to heart because I used to be kind of a negative, pessimistic person, if you can believe that. And all of this kind of opened my eyes to there's a lot more to worry about than just like, oh, my hair looks crappy today, or
yeah, you know. Christina, I just subscribed to your YouTube channel, and the thumbnail picture of you right there. Did you have your head shaved at one point? I mean, was that part of the surgery?
That was from the surgery, yeah. So the tumor is actually it's on the left side, so you can see here my hair is short. So it's taking a long time to grow.
Is that all real hair, or are those extensions?
No, that's my real hair.
Okay, beautiful.
I have lots of hair. I was surprised. Even when they shaved half my head off, I was like, wow, I could just flip it over and you can't even tell.
Okay, well, so you know, I some beauty secrets for brain surgery patients. Right? Go ahead, Court. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, while she was talking about her positive attitude, I'd just like to give a shout out. My friend died in 2007 of a very rare cancer of the liver. But, yeah, you know, it really reminds me of the attitude he had. He had a whole campaign going on called "Fuck Cancer." About positive attitude, because you can't just be negative about it. I mean, the fact that at least there's progress.
Did you just say fuck cancer? I wanted to make a website called "Fuck Cancer" and it was already taken. Is that your
fuck cancer on it?
Yeah, fuck cancer, right?
Oh,
the skull and crossbones.
Yeah, fuck cancer. Yeah,
we can say that on the show. Fuck cancer, right?
Yeah,
right?
I wish I could.
Fuck it. Fuck it with some hemp oil. He made this comic book right here for the kids in the hospital that he was staying with, and that's his name right there.
Is that a superhero riding a dinosaur?
Yeah, that's it. That's a self-portrait. That's a self-portrait of himself riding a dinosaur. Yeah.
And he's way bigger than T-Rex.
I just like to, I just thought it was appropriate to bring him up, but he was a little further down the line with what he had. It's a completely different type of thing that you had, but I'm glad that the alternative medicine is really breaking through and helping, people such as yourself. Kyle, the guy that we interviewed from the band, I forgot the name of it.
Chris Daniels.
Yeah, and he had a similar situation, but he said he was talking about how friends wanted this medicine to help suppress their cancer, but it's illegal in the states that they're in. So they're risking getting sent to federal prison just for using an alternative medicine.
Actually, love, 2 questions. If I could ask, do you have a lot of trouble legally with what you do? And second of all, how do you make it?
Here, I have my green card. I'll show you guys. In Washington State, it's legal. So here, okay. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I see my head shaved in it and everything. So yeah, that's my little green card that I have. So this keeps me, I can grow up to 15 plants with this and have up to I can't remember what it is, but it's 2 pounds on me without getting in trouble. So for me, it's fine, but for others out there, it's hard to say.
How do you? Do you make the actual oil yourself? Like for people that might want to try this or people that are sick, how do you do that?
Yeah, we so it's kind of a lengthy process, and it's kind of like making meth, unfortunately. So it's super flammable, so you want to make sure that you're in a really ventilated area. But basically what you do is you take the weed that you're going to use. We use mostly the buds, but you can...
But could you hotbox off the vapors, or... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God, no.
Sorry.
It's the vapors of the alcohol coming off just makes
Oh, no. Okay.
It's heinous.
Okay.
So,
Sorry,
but yeah, so you take your weed and then you mix it with 99.9% isopropyl alcohol for under 5 minutes. Any longer than that, and it starts to break apart the plant matter, and you don't want that in there because that's what gives you headaches and stuff. If you actually ingest the plant matter, it can have adverse effects. So no longer than 5 minutes, and then you pour it through sifting bags to break out all the plant matter till you're left with just liquid, and it's kind of a green alcohol type stuff, and you pour it into a rice cooker, boil it down till it's basically nothing, keep it moving all the time, pour it into a metal measuring cup, put it on a coffee warmer, add 8 drops of water, and then as soon as you stop seeing little bubbles forming, it's done. And you suck it into syringes, and that's how you do it. It depends, if you're using a crock pot or anything, it could take up to 35 hours to boil down, but with a rice cooker it takes maybe 6 or 7, so it's
it does sound a lot like how I make my meth. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, that's how they.
Let me say I've never
go
made
ahead.
meth. I just hear that that's what it's like.
I hear you need a
The
bathroom.
maple syrup meth lab that we were talking about the other day.
So
they're gonna
what do your doctors say when you go back and your MRIs show that it's getting smaller?
They don't even acknowledge it, and that's what's so frustrating because in the notes, so my oncologist only reads the notes to my MRI. She doesn't actually look at the images, and then I was like, well, can I see the pictures? And she was like, oh yeah, I guess. Let me see if I can find the file. So that was when I found out that they don't even look at the MRIs, and so...
And those oncologists, they can't read that stuff.
And you know what? For anyone listening to this, think about what she just said that she did. She's healthy enough to do all of that.
Yeah.
So the stuff's working. Right there
Have
you
a whole
go.
meth
It's
lab.
working.
Exactly. And hey, we have our own garden that I take care of, and I take care of our house. I mean, I take care of everything. My energy is
wonderful
high,
news. That
and-
is such wonderful news.
Yeah, it's great. And people are like, wait, you have brain cancer? What?
No, my dad just died of cancer in October, and you're like a breath of fresh air for everyone listening to this. I want to give a shout out to the charity connection. Danae Mobley Chris lives near me, and she's battling cancer. And I can't wait for her to see this episode, just because, you know, there's somebody beating it. There's somebody, you know, that is defeating it, and it's great to see.
Totally. I know my grandma actually died a year ago from lung cancer, and then I was diagnosed, you know, 6 months after that, and it was just like, God, really? Huh?
Did you already talk about how you administered the hemp oil?
No, well, I just, you know, you eat it, so you got to warm it up because it's really thick and sticky, and I just put it under my tongue. I actually took some video of me taking it, and I have some video of me going to my recent doctor's appointment, and so I have to edit it all together. It's so hard to edit. I struggle with that stuff.
Oh, yeah?
What are you using?
I will help you.
What are you using?
I have like the MacBook, like iPro movie, whatever. So
Yeah, if you ever need any help, hit us up. We all are pretty good movie editors.
Final Cut Pro, I believe, if you're on a Mac. See, I use Premiere when I don't now because my computer won't run it, but I use Premiere. But you might want to use Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, Final Cut Pro is the best for
Okay.
Apple.
There you go.
But yeah,
We can help
editing
out.
is so much fun.
I said we could help out because we'd really like to get your story out there to more people for sure, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got the YouTube channel. You obviously have some people helping you out. You've done other interviews, and I thank you so much for being on our show.
yeah, totally.
And so you warm up this oil, right? You put it under your tongue, and then it just sort of dissolves and feeds into your bloodstream.
Uh-huh.
I saw a little boy. I saw a report. Father, his son, was suffering from some horrible type cancer, and on his own, kind of like what you were saying, he started administering the hemp oil, but it was like a little plug that he kind of like put in his belly.
What?
Yeah, it was like a little plug, and
Oh
and
no, I
basically
saw
just,
that. It was for like an infant, right?
Yeah, it was like a young infant.
Can't
But
eat
basically, that's how they IV'd it into his bloodstream, right? Because that's where it needs to go, right?
it. Yeah, like.
And but the same thing though, he started. The kid started getting better, and the doctors were like, "Oh no, you can't see that. No, I don't really think that." And then they start going, "Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing at home?" And you're like, "Well, I'm sort of taking this hemp oil," and they're like, "Shush, shush, shush."
Yeah,
Like,
that's
"Shh,
exactly
whoa,
what
whoa! You're doing what? Don't do that."
Well,
Don't
because
do
they're
anything,
whores
right?
to the They're whores to the pharmaceutical companies. They don't want you to have your own medicine. They want you to buy their synthetic pills and take their radiation baths.
Yeah, and I was sicker than shit when I was on those pills. Cause and I want to say this right now
Like
because
when you say sicker than shit, you mean like vomiting, nauseous, dizzy. You're staring off into space. You're having the mini malls and all
like
that.
20 of them a day. Yeah, it was horrible. And I just want to say to like all the people out there who are like, well, she didn't even give medicine a chance. And it was like, yes, I did. I let them hack my head open and give me test drugs I didn't need and give me medication that made me have multiple seizures and
Shave
things
your
that
hair.
were horrible for me. And I chose to do something proactive for my life, not slowly let them poison me to death. So.
And what happened? So you said you were working at a coffee place, a barista or whatever, and some hippie dude came in there with his hemp oil solution. Is that how it went down?
No, well, he was just like a customer that I had seen maybe a couple times before, and then I was talking about how I had blacked out, and he was like, sounds like you had an aneurysm or something, you should go to the doctors. And he's not even like a hippie or anything. I thought
Cool guy, just a cool guy, regular guy, customer.
Yeah.
Coffee shop customer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before this, were you somebody who like smoked weed, or was that like?
No, not at all. That was what was so funny is I wasn't like I didn't think weed was bad. I did a little bit in high school, but I didn't do it regularly at
We're
all.
like a heavy user, right?
No.
No. We have you in the hot seat.
When you put this hemp oil under your tongue, do you feel stoned in any way? Like, do you feel like you're high?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The first time I took it, I thought I was glued to the bed for like 3 hours.
Did it make you hungry? Did it help your appetite?
Actually, the oil suppresses my appetite, but smoking does stimulate my appetite. But
right.
Wait, have you started smoking marijuana more since you've been taking hemp oil?
So I have this. It's like a little vapor pen, and it has oil in it. You can.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so your vapor is smoking the oil?
Yeah, that too.
The same oil that you eat, really?
No, this is a different. This is like a tincture mixture.
Kristina, I saw that, or I heard you say that the original prescription was 60 grams in 90 days, so 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And you stuck to that and then you went on to find out that the tumor was getting smaller, right?
Yeah, I did. So it was
how much? I know, but how much did that? How much does 60 grams in 90 days cost? How much did that cost?
Well, it's about $50 a gram, but actually the person who took me to the emergency room and diagnosed me and stuff like that, he actually is providing the oil to me. Like, I go make it with him and stuff, and he does it for free.
Oh, it's like a Fantastic Four experiment.
Yeah, it's like...
Who is this guy? Tony Stark? Who is this guy?
But I added up, so I've taken about 170 grams of oil so far.
Is this guy is Tony Stark putting out reports about this as well? That guy? That guy that's helping you out, is he doing any kind of reporting of this?
No, he prefers to stay like in the background, and I talked to him about it, like if he wanted credit or anything, and he said he'd rather just kind of stay.
So he's not Tony Stark, like Dr. Frankenstein or something.
He doesn't want to have the Chong status to. Yeah.
He's like,
hey, you know what?
Talk to him.
Speaking of Chong status,
that guy's working on
Kyle, didn't you want to talk about maybe Rick Simpson?
Oh, yeah. Have you ever actually had any contact with Rick Simpson or anything?
No, not ever. And everyone's like, you should contact him. And I was just like, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Well,
Court knows him.
Really?
Well, they're very interested in getting an interview with you. He wants to interview you. Yeah, I told him that you were. I told the radio network he talks on that we were interviewing you, and they're very interested in getting you for an interview.
Yeah, totally. I would love to do that. Like, I'm down to do anything. Everybody, like, who wants interviews, like, I have a bunch lined up. I was surprised that this took off the way.
How do you feel about like the label Hemp Oil Girl? Do you like that?
I like it.
I didn't even know your real name until today. You were just Hemp Oil Girl to me.
I
kind of like that.
Hemp Oil Girl.
Yeah.
It's funny, it kind of took off that way, and now people like it. It got out of my hands really quickly. People are like, wow, in South Africa and New Zealand and Europe and Germany and all over the place, and I'm just
really?
And they all know Hemp Oil Girl?
Yeah, like they find me on Facebook.
Well, it's a very breakthrough thing. I mean, there's so much suppression to the thought of marijuana being a alternative medicine, especially with cancer, even though it's proven that it does slow the cancer cell growth, or basically.
Totally is true. Yeah.
But to go back to the math of what you were just talking about, if someone didn't have a special friend helping them out with like the administration and getting the oil and all that, it would probably cost about $1,100 in 3 months.
Yeah.
So break down that cost, like $300 or whatever a month to cure yourself of cancer. And actually, how cured would you actually say that you are? There.
Me?
Yeah. What's the tumor look like now?
Or is it just stabilizing?
It's actually from the MRIs, it looks as it's getting smaller, but on the notes they say that is the same size. But then in my last MRI, they were like, well, it looks like the middle of it's dying, and I was like, well, what does that mean? And they were like, well, usually that means it's a really aggressive tumor, so it's taking too much of the nutrients on the outside, so the middle is dying. But they're like, but your tumor isn't bigger, it's going away, and now the middle is dead. And I'm like, that's killing it.
It's very simple, but they're making it so complicated.
I know. Well, it's because they gave me a death sentence, and they don't want to go back on that.
They can't revert that statement. Yeah, they're like, you're supposed to be dead already. What is going on here?
That is exactly true. Yeah. So it's
And so are you some kind of medical I don't know, some kind of record holder in the medical books or something, or what do they call that when you're like famous for your medical?
Probably in like weed world or like what is it? Cannabis culture or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, that like people care there, but in the medical field they couldn't give two shits.
So we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see this. We're gonna see her on the front of the hemp magazine now.
Oh.
Have you received any calls from like High Times or any or the
High Times? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I haven't. I actually had someone from Manhattan Public Access TV wanted us to go to New York and do an interview there, but I was like, how can I go to New York? I can't leave my hemp oil here.
Wait a second, you're doing so great on this hangout, and it seems like you're having a good time. I'm having a good time, but it doesn't seem like you're staring off into space or having any kind of issues.
No,
I mean, what's your day-to-day thing like right now? You just take a little hemp oil and you feel good all day, or are you still experiencing anything that's like what you were before? Have you had any blackouts lately?
Nope, no seizures, no blackouts, no
interesting.
Yeah, it's just I've been amazing. Like, so the best I can guess, I had my first seizure. I didn't know what it was at this point, but it was in June 2007. So I've been having these for 5 years now, and I was having 20, 30 seizures a day, and I'm just like, what is this? I was so desperate.
Were you able to move? Were you able to move objects on a desk like John Travolta in Phenomenon?
I wish. That would have been badass. I was thinking, like, okay, isn't epilepsy like extra firing in your brain? So shouldn't I have like superpowers or something?
Yeah.
Well, that's why D-Lake has those glasses on, though.
I
laser beam me through the computer, right?
Yeah.
Since you started taking the hemp oil, do you watch more Family Guy?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Do you watch more Family Guy now that you've been taking the hemp oil?
You know what's funny is I watch a lot less, and I watch a lot more mysteries at the museum.
That actually makes perfect sense. Do you watch like more documentaries and stuff now?
Oh my gosh, all the time, and I'm like reading research all the time, and I just like can't get enough. I love it.
It's like people who use marijuana have thicker books. It seems that's for sure.
That is totally true. Than people who drink alcohol, for sure.
Yeah, it's harder to read a book while you're drunk.
It's just that classic saying: a group of drunk people are more rowdy than a group of stoned people that would probably just start playing video games or pass out or whatever. Yeah.
Like you never see stoned people fight; it just doesn't happen.
One thing I wanted to say is I actually knew a doctor.
It is 420.
I actually knew a doctor who became. I talked to a doctor who became a cannabis doctor because he was playing soccer and he got kicked in the head and he had a lot of problems. He had nonstop seizures. They put him on all these pills, and then he tried marijuana, and he said that was the only thing that ever helped him. That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how it works that much better than all these chemicals that they're putting, that they want you to ingest your body that have all these other side effects that you just don't want to deal with,
And totally, like, the type of seizures that I have are really hard to control with medications anyways. So even when I was taking their medication, it wasn't helping. It was making it worse. And so it's like they're basically trying to force me to be on medication. And I'm like, no, this works fine, But
what do they say? Like, when you say, like, I'm good with the hemp oil, like, how do they explain you're not having seizures now?
Well, okay, I didn't want to, like, say this just for, like, safety purposes or whatever, but they think I am taking medication because they were forcing me to. They wouldn't let me get benefits without taking the medication.
Oh, wow.
And so I get the medication and I pretend to take it.
I understand. I mean, that's just what you got to do. I mean, I think you're doing the right thing. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it makes me upset and it makes me sad and it makes me mad at the medical field for that, exact thing, but I just want people to know that there are ways around that. Trust me.
So unless you take their poison, unless you swallow their poisonous pills, you can't get their help, huh? That's their
That's
attitude.
evil.
Why do you think I don't have Medicaid anymore?
That's disgusting.
Right?
That just makes me hate the pharmaceutical companies.
I know. I just saw Red.
So much more,
I just
dude.
saw freaking Red when she.
Yeah, right? And I was like, just try to not spread that around too much. I don't know.
Edit
Edit that out.
Well, you were just kidding. Hey, you were just
live. You lost
no,
out.
you were just kidding. Anyways, don't worry.
Yeah, I was kidding.
Jokes for all.
But yeah,
That
that's what
so
pushed me to want to do these videos, because that was what made me see red. I was like, this is freaking bullshit. You know, like, we should be able to do whatever we want. It's our own bodies. We should be able to put what we want in it, not poison, you know? The doctors take an oath saying not to harm, but they're harming people every day with chemo and radiation, when people, for a fact I know, come to their doctors and say that this helps.
Well, you know, it's
Don't get me
disgusting.
fired up.
No, that's exactly what we want. It needs to be
These
said.
lobbyists, they actually show up to the doctor's offices and bring them lunch and all the pill companies. They do. I swear to God. And because my mother used to work for one, and they show up and here's these new pills, and then they always bring donuts and like
And they have this
sandwiches.
Pharmaceutical girls selling the pills. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, that's exactly what.
And I'd just like to point out that John Huntsman, who was running on the Republican ticket against Ron Paul, not only does he attend the Bilderberg meeting, he also, his family runs a cancer institute that will cure you right there of your brain cancer with radiation, surgery, and, you know, some more harmful drugs and crap that'll make you all sick. And yeah, as soon as you get there to that cancer institute, they're going to be like this: Christina, I'm sorry, you're going to die in less than a year, and so why don't you just lay down on this bed, take this medicine, and let us radiate you until all your beautiful hair is gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Does that sound like a good idea to you, right there? Or are you going to
And how about
Are you going to experiment with this deadly hemp oil that makes your brain tumor shrink down?
And we'll take away your benefits. Yeah, because you don't want to harm your own body. That's what we're going to do.
Okay,
Right.
well, as soon as Obamacare is instituted, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to throw you in prison.
Right?
it's like, even with the limited research that is allowed to be done, in the least they know that it isn't hurting you, you know?
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Like, okay, I've been taking hemp oil for the past year, 1 gram a day, and I've had not a single side effect. And I want to, tell that to everyone, there aren't side effects, minus being super baked, which...
Wait, a
that's
gram a
not
day
side effect.
is a gram
No.
is a gram a day expensive to the ordinary person, or is
It's
it
50
mildly
bucks.
priced?
$50 a day.
Christina,
I
I have one question.
I could do that.
I have one question. Is there any other alternative I mean, obviously we hear a lot about super fruits and things like that having so much antioxidants. I mean, what would you recommend people to take? Because I mean, since it's working for you, I mean, if that would help along with the hemp oil, I mean, do you think? I mean, what would you recommend to people?
The hemp oil is not the only thing I'm taking. I'm also juicing, all green raw vegetables, which is like the Gerson therapy there. So that's awesome. And then I just started checking my pH balance and trying to get my body into the alkaline zone. So, because cancer can't survive in an alkaline environment. And so just basically any green leafy foods like that, the superfoods are right. I'm telling you.
You're like a swimming pool now. We have to check your alkaline and chlorine levels and everything.
I know, right? Got to make sure I put all the right stuff in, all this stuff. But it's not chemicals, though.
Yeah, at least they're natural. They're natural.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that's great.
And the doctors are like, no, that's doing nothing.
I'm glad that you joined us to tell your story, because we really like to get the real truth out there, and that things like hemp oil, the things like you said, really do suppress cancer and tumor growth. So that's
They totally
really great that you came on here to share that with us.
Yeah, definitely. And my next MRI is in June. So in a couple months, I will have, and this will be 6 months in between. All the other MRIs were in 3 month intervals. And so this will be a 6 month one. So hopefully we'll see a huge change in this.
And you're feeling really great lately, and so you're expecting this 6 month MRI to look just really incredible, and you're like, let me see the pictures.
Yeah, you want to know something super funny? So have you ever ear candled your ears, you know, where you like light them on fire and do that?
Not me, but I've done it for a friend, like helping her with the earwax, you mean?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a couple years ago, my mom tried to do it on my left side, and it was like, oh my God, that hurts so bad. Stop. It felt like she was sucking my brain out of my ear, but that was obviously because there was a brain tumor, right? And so she came over a couple weeks ago, and she was like, do you want to try ear candling? And I was like, I'm really scared, because that laid me out for a couple days after that because it hurt me so bad. And she did it, and it didn't hurt me at all.
Do you think earwax could be a sign of brain tumor?
No, I think it was the fact the swelling and the pressure, because the tumor's right here.
Yeah.
It's like right here on my, so it's pushing on this, so I can't hear as well on this, but I've noticed that.
Oh, but you suspect that that's what made the candle wax hurt even more.
What made it hurt? I think it might have just like sucked it shut, and so it was just pulling on it.
But the last time you did it, it wasn't as bad, is what you're saying.
It didn't hurt at all. And I was excited because I feel like that's a definite proof that it's definitely getting better, because it's not hurting. So.
I helped my friend candle wax and pulled out a big slug of earwax. It was so nasty.
It's nasty, but you're like, I'm glad it's not in my head anymore. Right?
Have you seen the commercial for that new thing that pulls the wax out of your ear?
Yeah, it's like a vacuum.
Oh, yeah.
Ear vac.
And the guy,
Ear vac.
he's like, ow! Like, have you ever been using a Q-tip and just screamed, ow! Oh, sorry, I saw that.
I don't seem to have that big earwaxy problem, but I had a friend that had it bad like that.
Some have it worse than others, I think.
No, see, I don't have like a wax problem. That candles pull out bacteria and stuff too.
Oh, really?
Like
Too?
the white powders and stuff that are.
Is that a healthy?
I thought somebody told me. I could be thinking of something else, but somebody told me that the ear candling was a myth or something. I don't know if I'm thinking about something else.
The freaking ancient Egyptians have been doing it since like hieroglyphic ages.
I've never heard of it. I'm looking it up.
I mean, I'll have to look it up again, but someone told me. I don't know. I have to look it up.
I've never heard of it.
But yeah, I mean,
it definitely pulls the wax out, because I've done one and it.
Oh, you have?
Like,
yeah,
it's so nasty.
Like
in the least, it pulls like ridiculous amounts of wax out. It's really gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it feels all good, and you can hear all better, and you're like, oh, that was great.
It sounds like the ocean or something.
Is it like getting a massage or what?
Yeah, it's really relaxing, and it like crackles in your ear, and it's all relaxing and warm, nice.
And then you feel all the crap come out, and it's like, oh, refreshing, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
I can't.
Once you look at it, right?
I can't do those because I can't go buy them. I have like man shopping paranoia that if I buy something like that, the cashier's just gonna be like, "Really, guy? Like these?"
Go to the self checkout, Kyle. Self checkout.
I bought a fanny pack. I bought a fanny pack once, and it was like the most embarrassing thing ever because I needed it to hold my camera at NATO.
Well, that's because it's a fanny pack.
Hey, you know what though? You see, I see older men with fanny packs, but around here that means they're concealing. They have a gun in that fanny pack, so that's not very. That's not a feminine way to. Yeah.
If you have a fanny pack, you're a badass.
Yeah, around here, the older guys, you see them with a fanny pack. I think, there's a gun in it around here where I live.
Sam DeGangi, how do you feel about older gentlemen with fanny packs?
And Hawaiian shirts.
If you are not a skateboarder or a mountain climber, you should not have one.
Why do skateboarders get the okay?
Because I still do once in a while. When I used to skate all the time, a lot of times
it's a '90s thing, dude.
A lot of times you would change the truck settings in terms so you don't speed wobble or whatever, and you have like actual tools with you, and you don't want to put them in your pocket because if you beef, it's really going to hurt. So we would do that.
I see. I never carried a fanny pack when I used to skate. Maybe I wasn't just. We had like the multi-tools.
I wear like a backpack when I rock climb. I don't think I've ever worn a fanny pack.
That's what I was saying, Court. These latest turn of events in Boston, they should be called the backpack bombers.
Oh, jeez.
The fanny pack bombers.
Yeah, what about the fanny pack bombers? That would be horrible.
Yeah, that would like that wouldn't. No,
and we're on a manhunt for the fanny pack bomber. Yeah.
How much payload can you get in a fanny pack?
Not very much.
I hope not. If somebody does that, we're gonna have FBI, and they're gonna be reading our Twitters and like, look at what he said this day.
They were talking about bombing. Arrest them all. Don't stop talking about it.
You know. It's amazing. And while we're talking about this, the last thing I reported is I figured out the FBI lied about what they told, or what they actually told the mother of the bombers, the Chernow brothers.
One day.
So they originally said that they were on him and they knew everything about him to the mother, but then denied saying that they didn't have anything on him, just to cut the tie of it being their fault and them not preventing it to happen. But I think this pierces some sort of veil of stuff that they're hiding, that they knew about this, maybe coerced them into this situation. This is a little off topic here, but I mean, this is what the media speaks. Yeah, this is what the media speaks has been kind of reporting on.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to throw that.
Big thing
What are your thoughts on the whole marathon bombing, Kristina?
Don't get me started, because they'll come arrest me for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's freedom of speech. I mean, as long as we don't make any threats. I mean, I was saying.
It's difficult to say, but I think that our government is behind a lot of shit that we don't know about, and I think that might just be part of it, to incite fear and things like that in the American people because of the thing in Korea and all of that stuff. Like, oh, things are happening, terrorists are attacking us, we have to enable and go to war again, or whatever's going on. I don't know exactly. I try to avoid it just because it pisses me off.
Right. I know it does anger me. If our live coverage yesterday, I sort of lost myself a little bit there, but
yeah, yesterday. Did you see all the pictures? Do you have a Facebook there?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see all the pictures? Maybe some of your friends posted of the scene going on in Boston with all the militarized state police and all black walking down the city streets like stormtroopers and going into people's homes like martial law and telling them to stay inside. Did you see that?
I haven't been on my Facebook in a couple days, or in like
Court,
D-Lake, I did see that, and you know what? It's just very highly suspicious that the civilian support team was already present during the time of the bombing, and these are the same guys wearing the same exact type of clothing with the camo pants and the boots, with the same type of radios, the same exact BDUs, and not only that, they said that there was a bomb drill going on before the race even started, before any initial bombs went off. My biggest thing is the FBI knew this whole time about this suspect having these alleged extreme political views and ties to this what they're trying to make seem like Al Qaeda or a Muslim sect.
I know, that's kind of ridiculous to me, but whatever.
Would you have guessed, Christina, that it would be Chechnyan Islamicists that supposedly pulled off this attack?
I knew it would be.
I knew it.
That was my first guess.
One question: did anybody even know what Chechnya was before this in this room?
Of course.
Yeah, I did.
You never been?
Chechnya
is known for their sausage.
It's sort of like that. It's sort of like that whole Russia and Georgia incident. When everybody thought of Georgia, they thought of the South. They didn't think of Georgia near Russia. Like they were like, "Where's Georgia?"
All right, well, it's
Russia.
It's all very suspicious, and Court has definitely been on top of the updated version of events and his take on it, which is going to serve as a great record for us to go back and review to try to put the puzzle pieces all together. So I think that's fantastic, and it's really been helping to blow up the site. Court's been doing a fantastic job.
Well, look at the last five big terrorists were all led on by the FBI, all coerced by the FBI. But now they're trying to cut that tie and completely lie about it. So we need to expose that lie, D-Lake, and that's what we're doing here.
The last 5 mass shooters all used AR-15. But these guys used cooker pressure bombs.
These guys were talking. These guys were influenced by the FBI. Bar none. Go ahead.
Court, there's going to be legislation issued because these two gentlemen supposedly used a certain amount of gunpowder that they derived from their ammunition. So there needs to be new legislation put into place on how much ammunition that you can purchase at a time or have on
I think this is appropriate. I think this is appropriate. Look, the kid was a little, he just looks like a common bro, like Kyle said in the live coverage we did yesterday.
Yeah,
and he's posting about Eminem, and then he has a pro-marijuana post, and of course they're going to demonize the pro-marijuana people with that.
And how messed up is it that he got arrested before 420?
Oh yeah, 420!
Yeah.
He wanted to smoking and chilling with his bros today, but that's not going to happen because he's been framed by the FBI.
He just wanted to bro out.
And 9,000 police had to find him.
Dude, why would he wait before 420? I mean, wouldn't he want to get his last big high before he went out?
Yeah. Why didn't the bombings happen tomorrow?
He wanted to play Super Smash Brothers.
I can't see a stoner. I can't see someone who's stoned contemplating putting a bomb and killing innocent people.
Christina, when you take that hemp oil, do you feel like going out and doing any kind of terrorist bombings or anything like that after you take that hemp oil?
She's clearly a dangerous fight.
You have a brain tumor. You're like a crazy person.
I just want to go out to terrorist and help people.
Exactly.
You're more loving and helpful and peaceful, right?
Exactly. I'm a lover, not
How
a
dare
lover.
you? How dare you deny modern medicine?
Do you have any plans to commit suicide?
Absolutely not. I did, though, when I was on the Keppra, which was what, man...
Oh, certain drugs made you want to go kill yourself, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But like 9 out of 10 of the drug commercials say, may cause thoughts of suicide.
And they totally do.
Yeah.
So are you willing to say on the record right now that hemp oil does not give you thoughts of suicide, and it is supposedly, according to some whatever, not the American Medical Association, but it is shrinking the brain tumor. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct?
Definitely. I would stake my life on it. No pun intended.
Amazing. You're so awesome. That's great.
Thanks.
Great.
Well, hey, it looks like we're coming up on the end of the show. Because
where's the entertainment section?
That's what I'm saying. Is we gotta do our.
We have to get more entertaining.
That's what we do here.
We have you on as a special guest. We need to know what entertains you when you're not like watching documentaries and stuff. Like what do you like to do for fun? Yeah, or what do you watch? Like
what would you watch? There you go.
What's your entertainment?
I like to watch like the Forks Over Knives, Sick Fat Dying or whatever. There's too many. I can't remember them all, but they're just like the food documentaries are one of my favorites to watch just because you don't realize what you're putting in your body until you kind of watch that stuff. Like McDonald's isn't even food. I didn't know that before,
No, but silicone chicken nuggets are good for you.
I know, right? They cause great brain tumors.
Have you watched the last Will and Testament of George Harrison? Oh, that's a good one. It's on Netflix if you have it. It's okay. George Harrison explains that Paul McCartney was replaced with a lookalike.
Oh, lookalike deal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a crazy story. Sam, do you have any recommendations for Christina to check out as far as media? Maybe she's seen it, maybe she hasn't. What are your recommendations, Sam?
If she's into a lot of the food stuff, I would say that some of the documentaries that have been posted on Natural News TV have some really interesting things.
Do you like Natural News, Christina? Have you ever seen that website?
No, I'll have to check it out. People are like bombarding me with websites. I'm checking them out as fast as I can.
You must immediately all this stuff for the hemp oil.
I know. And I feel like if I don't right away, they're like, "Have you looked yet?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Give me a second."
You know what? Maybe you shouldn't change anything. Maybe you should just do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna start sending you 10 websites a day.
Yeah. Check it out immediately.
We want a report.
Dude, if you don't watch them, we're gonna sever ties.
We expect a written report every Friday.
It'll be a test, right?
Yeah,
there'll be a book report.
Permanent record, young lady.
Out of school.
Do you feel that way? Like you're getting bombarded with links, and it's like every link is like a test. It's like, hey, have you checked it out yet?
Yeah, pretty much. I try my best. But
Well, that's great, though. Yeah, because we're trying to get news out like that. I mean, I guess I'm jealous. I wish I was bombarded with more emails like, go check out this link, D-Lake.
I know. Well, it's nice. Like, I love doing it, but it's hard, like, because I use the computer all day long if I were to look at everything and answer every single comment.
And you're feeling better, so you don't have any excuse like, I can't go look at the link, I'm feeling dizzy.
Yeah, well, no,
because you're feeling better.
Like, I'm feeling good, so I want to get off the couch and go rock climbing again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so entertainment, rock climbing. Are you seriously rock climb?
Yeah, and I dirt bike, and I have, like, I was an outdoorsy girl for sure, but rock climbing.
Skiing or snowboarding?
Snowboard.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but now I have to wear a helmet.
All right. What about, you like mountain biking and climbing? And
I've never mountain biked, but I love rock climbing.
Carrying down a wicked trail on an ill mountain bike, that's so fun.
God, I feel like I just, with my luck, I'd probably go flying and get impaled by
Okay. Oh, but you don't feel that way when you're rock climbing? What, do you climb up like crazy rocks?
Yeah. You like high.
Are you talking about real rock climbing, or are you talking about at the mall on one of those funny things?
No, like, I go to, like, Index. There's really good granite right out there, and I set my cams and my hexes, nets. Like, I top rope the routes and everything, clean them. Like, I can do whatever. Just give me a rock, and I got my gear. I'll climb it.
That's awesome. I'm scared. I think I'd be scared to do that.
It's a lot of fun.
I would never do that.
I've fallen before. It's scary. Like, I fell, I slipped. You set your cams every 5 feet, but I fell. My first cam failed, and then the second one failed, and then the third one caught me, and I swung, like, super far. I was just like, ah!
And now you can go rock climbing again, and then when you get up to the top, you can do some hemp oil, right?
Yeah, right.
It's a reward.
And then you're like, how the hell am I going to get down?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. If you go on my Facebook, there's a bunch of pictures of me rock climbing and stuff. So.
I am hemp girl.
Cool. How can I find you on Facebook if I'm looking
I don't know what my.
Are you hemp oil girl on there? Or?
No, just
oil girl.
You could do
You're gonna get bombarded. Tell me in a private message.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I'll find you, or I'll look up your YouTube. I just subscribed to your YouTube channel earlier, so awesome.
Okay, yeah. I can like send it to you guys. The media is here or speaks now.
Yeah, and the mediaspeaks.com. Check us out.
We have a ton of accounts.
All right, guys, what do you say we wrap it up? It's been a great show.
It was great. I had a great time talking to you guys. You're funny.
You're talking about Court, right?
Well, thanks for coming on.
All right,
Go ahead, Kyle. Wrap us up.
Well, where can people find you? What are your sites, your YouTube? Do all your shout-outs and stuff. It's always...
My YouTube channel, if you just type in Christina Marie, I need to have this stuff like readily available so I can read it off because I don't know.
Okay, and this is her image right here on there. With the shaved head. If you find her on there.
You can see my scar.
Yeah, she obviously looks. Her hair is grown out now, so.
You can see my scar on the side of my head right there.
But that's definitely what she was dealing with, and then she started taking hemp oil. It's been an amazing story.
Here, I'm trying to look up what my link is.
I just subscribed to it.
Yeah, well, here we just showed it on the screen share.
Awesome, Sam. You just subscribed to?
So people can get it right there. So, yeah, you can find her there on YouTube, Christina Marie, with all of her awesome videos about hemp oil and her experience with that. Also, interviews and just her talking about the whole experience. You can find us at themediaspeaks.com on YouTube, themediaspeaks.com, because they don't let us use a dot, which makes sense, themediaspeaks.com. I'm on there, the media is here. David Lake is David Lake, as simple as that. What's that guy's name? David Lake. Search it on YouTube, you find him. Anthony Court is Constant Injustice on YouTube, where he puts up all his awesome court reports. Sam DeGangi, Correct Views. You can find him on YouTube, Correct Views, always doing reports almost every day. The guy's ridiculous. Everybody here is always coming out with new information, trying to find new deaths, doing all stuff. You can find us at The Media Speaks on Twitter, The Media Speaks on Facebook, MediaSpeaks.com. That's what we do. That's what we're about, having awesome guests, people who are using hemp oil and saving their lives, which is awesome.
For sure. I mean, there's something there. Everybody out here, I just want to say, everybody listening to this, everyone knows it's 420. Everyone knows, you know what, marijuana gets you high. But hopefully by the time you've listened to this and followed the other articles that are on the channel, I just posted one about it, you'll find that there is more to these substances than seeing how high you can get. And Christina, even a breath of fresh air, I guarantee you will be an inspiration to everyone that watches this show.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that I can help people. I know that when I was diagnosed that I was hopeless and had nowhere to turn, and I had someone save me, and I just wanted to do that for others.
Wonderful.
Well, that's amazing, and it's great that we could challenge the misinformation given to us by the establishment and challenge these pharmaceutical companies.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thanks for helping us do that and sharing your story and informing the people out there.
Most definitely.
Thanks so much, and happy 420 to everybody. Legalize it.
Yes. Thanks.
Legalize immediately for medical, whatever, and legalize hemp as well for the manufacturing and production of multiple thousands of products.
Well,
cars.
in Washington.
You can make cars out of it. That's ridiculous. You can
Henry
make
Ford made a car out of hemp.
Who did?
Henry Ford. It's 10 times more durable than steel.
You can even turn it into oil and turn that into gas.
Our forefathers smoked it. We all know that. So
yeah,
I think they had the right idea.
Yeah, but they were terrorists, Court.
Yeah, they were terrorists.
Yeah, I'm a terrorist for saying that, I guess.
No, don't say that.
No, we make constant fun of the establishment who make stabs at people that just love liberty.
I mean, if that makes you, hey, you're taking that hemp oil, you're a terrorist.
A terrorist.
Probably.
Hemp oil terrorists.
It's a loose-based definition.
Look at that smile. She's clearly a threat.
Have you ever read Stephen King?
All right.
All
right. Well, D-Like, you want to wrap us up?
All right, yeah, sure. Great show today, everybody. Fabulous guest, Christina Marie, the hemp oil girl. There she is. She's feeling good. She's feeling better. And we all are, too. The site's doing great. Everything's been going fantastic. Thanks for joining us today on the 420 special Saturday Media Speaks special guest show. Have a great day, everybody.